student or any other person to understand the product's perspective as well. Next. Yeah. So the conclusion is the limitation what we had is 10 UG students for this particular research. So in the future work, we will have more students and a very big facilities to finish the research, whatever we have stopped here. Thank you so much. We thank Dayanand Sagar University as well as the Acharya University for giving this opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Up next, we have Mr. Joseph Chinnaswamy with the title Innovating Epics, Design Thinking in Diva Karuni's Feminist Myth Retellings.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Joseph, a full-time faculty, Acharya School of Design, and a part-time research student, and Vinayaga Mission's Kribananda Warrior Engineering College, which is deemed to be University, Vinayaga Mission's Research University. And I'm the first author here for this paper. My second author is obviously my guide. She is Dr. P. Sarada, Associate Professor, Head of Department of English, the same Vinayaga Mission's Kribananda Warrior Engineering College. Obviously, I'm the odd one out here. Right from the morning, you people have been listening something that is oriented to design kind of thing. You might wonder what a literature background student or faculty is going to do in this particular, conference kind of thing. I tried, for the past 8-9 months, I have been trying hard to fit myself in this particular design field. I don't know, those who are related to me, those who are sitting next to me in the staff room, they can easily understand this. So in such a way, before this particular paper, I have presented more than 12 papers in various Web of Science and Scopus Index journals. This is the first paper that I have made an attempt to connect literature and design. All right, this is my first paper in my life, actually. In this 12 years of experience, this is my first paper, okay. So the thing is, looking at the title, Innovating Epics, Design Thinking in Diva Karuni's Feminist Myth Retellings. Okay, what I have attempted here is, let me make it simple so that everybody can understand it. Diva Karuni, like Chitra Banerjee Diva Karuni, is a familiar, famous Indian writer. She is from West Bengal. She has written more number of novels in English literature, okay. So she is a diasporic writer. She has born and brought up in India. She has settled in England. So that is her nature. Diva Karuni is the writer. She has a specific intention, whatever novels she writes, she had an intention. So she wanted to tell something, but the readers understood it in a different way. There are some misconceptions. Just I want to clear those things. I'm going to suggest to you a particular technique. If you follow that particular technique, easily you can understand what she wanted to tell. In order to get what the actual sayings of the author, if you are really concerned about this particular author, this particular methodology will help you to understand that particular thing. Okay. So this is what you read, this is what actually should be read. So all the novels, all the Chitra Banerjee Diva Karuni's novel will have all these things, quite common things. If you take Sister of My Heart, if you take Palace of Illusions, if you take Mist of Species, all these novels will have these kind of things. If you read this novel, you can understand, see what kind of family sufferings these people have, what kind of sufferings these women undergoes, what kind of circumstances they are living in. You will have a pity face towards a woman. If you read that novel, see what kind of pity life they are living, what kind of painful life they are undergoing. When it comes to portraying their character, what kind of painful life. They are not at all allowed to get education. They are not at all allowed to get what they wanted to achieve in their life. And when it comes to suppression, what kind of suppression, all these are negative shades actually. On my left, you can see all the negative shades. They don't have any kind of freedom to choose their future. They are not allowed to have education. Male domination in all her novels. If you see it in general perspective, you can see all these things. But truly, the intention of Chitra Banerjee is not to tell all these 5 things, which is on my left side. The real intention is this: gender dynamics, what they are capable of, what kind of resilience women's, and their contribution to society, female empowerment. So these two are contrast things. What I am suggesting you is a feminist folklore theory. Very simple theory. For hundreds of years, it is there in English literature. Feminist folklore theory. Folklore theory is nothing but a simple way to study old stories, songs, and traditions through women eyes. Like, that is what I said. In general eyes, if you study, in a normal person's perspective, if you study this novel, you will get all these things. A negative shade of women. If you approach the same novel in this particular feminist folklore theory, it is just a theory. This particular theory deals about, I'll tell you that in the next slide. This particular feminist folklore uses the feminist ideas to study traditional stories and customs focusing on women's hidden roles and gender biases. I just want to give you a story about this feminist folklore. Folklore is a concept, as I told. Folklore is a concept, as I told. Some years back, again, the same problem. Nowadays, you can have so many methods, like so many advanced techniques, advanced medium to document everything. Initial days, some 100 years back, there were nothing. So everything was orally transferred. So while orally transferring everything, importance was given again to the male perspective only. Male perspective, what they have done, what kind of contribution they are doing to the society. So whatever contribution women does to the society was forgotten. So the feminist activists on those days, they come up with an idea. So this is not good for the future. It is not going to helpful. Nobody will know what women have done to the society. In order to make this a frame kind of thing, we have to give a SOP kind of thing. We have to give set of rules and regulation. If you are documenting certain things, all these are main characteristics. So in such a way, if you document everything, naturally, women will be given importance, like women will be, whatever the contribution given by women will be noticed, and obviously the future generation will come to know what are the contributions given by women. So that is the idea behind inventing this feminist folklore. But in 1917s only it got evolved. Like this is a different story, like I don't want to get into this. Okay, so feminist folklore theory is like whatever you read it in the women's perspective, read it from the eyes of women, so that you will read the novel, you can understand the novel in a better way. That is the whole idea about. In this one line basis, I have developed my whole thesis, like the whole paper I have developed actually. And this is what, like this particular Chitra Banerjee Divakarni, like you can understand after applying this particular feminist folklore theory, you can understand women's hidden strength. Like a few examples I have given, like considering the time strain, I don't want to get into all these things. Like the gender bias has been exposed, real life links has been given, cultural reclaim has been given, like that is what. Exactly opposite side of that particular novel you can get, where you can able to understand women in a better way, she can be treated. This is what the real feminism is. So this particular approach will help you to get women's, their whatever you people are claiming, whatever you people are demanding, like you are equal in the society. In this way it can be achieved. This is my conclusion actually. So this is the thing. This is the main objective. A feminist folklore approach of Divakarani's work highlights intersectionality, will help readers to understand that women's life is not shaped by gender, it is shaped by their ability, migration, and religion also. So this is my final thing actually. If you want to get the idea of women in a better way, try this. This is just a suggestion for you. I have made an attempt, just a suggestion for you. Hereafter, if you get a chance to read these novels like Chitra Banerjee Divakarni, likewise every novel will have different theories. This particular theory is applicable for Divakarni. If you have any favorite novel, if you have any favorite author, like there will be certain particular theory. If you approach that particular novel in the same theory, it will be very helpful. You can understand the novel in a better way. That is why you can consider this as a pedagogy kind of thing, a framework kind of thing. That will be helpful and that will give you a better version of the novel, which is main intention of the author. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph.
Thank you so much. We would like to call Dr. Harshlata and Dr. Shilpa Mohan Gopal for the session chair, along with Mr. Vipin and Mr. Joseph.
Okay, so here we come. Does anybody have any questions to our panelist members? Yes.
Hi all. I just want to ask you, what is the most crucial factor in designing the pedagogy for, especially in multidisciplinary design field?
Hello, am I audible now? Yeah, greetings of the day and wonderful presentation. I must congratulate each and every author for their efforts and the putting up across their experiential learning to the paper. So, and also we thank AIDC team for inviting us on stage. So coming back to Madam's question, multidisciplinary. So even the today's era is all multidisciplinary era, isn't it? So we cannot speak about one spoke from an umbrella. So it's like the multiple spokes comes into an umbrella, making it, strengthening it for a better application. So looking at the application and also the advancement in the technology, each one of us has to be a part of the bigger team. So which was missing, as I mean, we have been seeing from multiple, transitions, I can say. Like, we have started from manual era and then again came back to PG was a AI era. Not AI, it was a digital era. So now during our PhD, we have been into the AI and all that. So now currently the students are seeing one phase, but the advancement in the global market, if you see, so they will be accepted only if they have the multidisciplinary aspects. So I think this is the way they want, and this is the way we also have to enable ourselves. So this is what my answer is. Anybody wants to throw some more light on that?
I think with Mr. Joseph's presentation, one thing, I don't know, you might not agree with my point, but then I feel like design is very limited in its own structure. We are not collaborating with the other fields. We are doing it among ourselves with all the design fields, but if you take it, you say social sciences or biology or all those other fields, I think the collaboration between interdepartments are very minimal in design.
Yes, because as Vipin said, all the multidisciplinary subjects are there, but again it is challenge to the faculty who is taking design. So we must see that, because when we creating or giving the design problem to the student, at least we must integrate, or again we do some exercise, or we should call, as Vipin presented, the materiality. Yes, as a single subject it is there, but again you have to integrate with the design studio. That is also very important, so that we have to modify our curriculum accordingly. Or again, there will be interaction between the different subject teachers also to come into that. And again, whatever that materiality, when we are doing that, I have one question like Vipin. So yeah, you did that, but again, when you assess that, compared to that, any rubrics or something you developed for that? Like materiality, how?
Our intention is to see further. So these were fourth semester students, so they still have 3 more years ahead of them. So we are thinking of longitudinally and assessing them ahead. So if they'll use any of their characters, what they have learned here, will they apply it somewhere? So that might be one of our further study that we are planning to do.
Actually, earlier, when we were studying, it was part of our subject, but now it is not there. For us, workshop, everything was there, and it was always associated with design studio project or construction material. So this again, I think we have to start with a newer approach.
We have one more question to the panelists.
Thank you, sir. My question is to Joseph, sir. Sir, how do we apply those different theories to the particular books? Because it's totally depends upon the reader, right? Like what he wants to gain from that book, in which perspective he wants to take the knowledge from it. So how can we apply that particular theory which is nowhere we know that we have to apply to that book?
Just adding to that, I want to add, okay, is it a more personal approach to the design thinking of the character or more societal approach to the design thinking of the character?
Okay, I'll answer one by one. First, coming to Vika's question, like as is clearly said, this particular folklore method is for Divakarni. Like, in a day, I didn't come to this. Like, I didn't get this information. Like, I didn't get this information from the internet or somewhere else. Like, I know something about folklore. I know Chitra Banerjee. So I personally felt like these two have similar qualities. They're like, these two can be compared, this can be executed, this can be implemented here. This is my personal experience. Like similarly, like obviously as a design student, I'm sorry to say, like how far you can implement this, I don't know, but a literature student can easily understand this. Like he will have so many ideas about so many theories. So obviously, easily you can, as a literature student, a BA or MA student can easily approach. Like it is particularly for this particular, like folklore is for Divakarni alone. Likewise, you have to find, if you have any particular author, you have to find which theory is suitable for, that you can implement in this particular studies. First thing. Second thing, like I have answered your question also in the same answer, like it is individual's choice. Like nothing, it is my experience. It suited me. I don't know whether it will suit you or not. It is my own experience. Likewise, like all about creation, right? All about creation. It is my creation, like my, maybe you can say like my invention kind of thing. I have invented this, that's it. For me, it is applicable. I can get better version of Divakarni. That is the answer. Like, I hope you got your answer. Like it is my personal choice and my personal experience. That's it. Personal approach. For you, some other theory might be very much applicable for this particular Divakarni. For you may experience in a different way. It is all about your experience, personal experience it is.
Hello. What could be the basic difference between that folklore theory and the three-act structure? The three-act structure is the way you write a story or the novel, from establishment to the conflict and to the resolutions. Because everything goes from the characteristics, establishment, conflicts, suppressions, everything, whatever you have, right?
Okay.
Dynamic then to the regulations. So there is a three-act structures, there is a principle, and the way they write a story, and how does it connect your principles with that folklore and this three-act structure?
Like that is what I'm saying. It is naturally connected. You cannot connect it. It is you don't have to put any efforts. If you understand folklore, naturally, like when I go through this particular theory, folklore theory, apart from Divakarni, there were several other authors which I was able to connect. So it is a natural process actually. You don't have to put any efforts. Like you cannot differentiate it like structure-wise you can connect, character-wise you can connect. Like it is all intention. Like it is your personal intention I'm saying. Like you will feel that actually. You will feel that. That is how literature works actually.
Okay, the folklore main means you feel you are the character. You have lived that. Is that?
No. No.
Then how do you perceive those stories through yourself?
From the folklore approach, like like I have mentioned it, folklore is a general term. In folklore, you have so many subdivisions. What I have chosen is feminist folklore. Feminist folklore is nothing but whatever is there, you have to see it in their stand, like from their perspective, from women's perspective. Like for example, in general, for example, let me take one of my work as an example, which I am doing my research. Like as I said, Sister of My Heart, there are two characters in it. Like if you, as a normal person, as a normal third person without, like who doesn't have any connection to literature, like just for the time pass, if you are reading that particular novel, you will see it as like what kind of pains they are undergoing, what kind of sufferings those characters are going. So as I know this folklore theory earlier, like as I am very much into this folklore theory, since it is a part of research, I don't see any such pains there. I am able to see what kind of resilience they had in order to come out of that pain. Naturally, I am not able to see the pain. Naturally, I am able to see, I was forced to see what kind of efforts they had made to come out of the point, which is very good sign, which like as a feminist, like I am seeing women in a better way. That's it.
Even I have a question to you, sir. This is, I think, in behalf of everybody. So maybe this, the words, the characters you have mentioned, suppressed and resilience, if you can extend it to application, extend it to an art form or a structure or an architectural. Like, for example, we had taken one of the thesis studio. In the pre-thesis, we wanted them to study or see movie, whatever you have inspired, a similar approach. You inspiration, you convert it into the adverbs, these kinds of words. So they converted similarly. They have seen, they've got from Darshan's movie, some of the clippings, some of the novels, whichever drove them to the course architecture to become an architect. So their imagination, they converted into the keywords. From there, they started realizing into the experiential ambiences, kind of a structure. How, conceptually, I can arrive at this happiness, I can arrive at the scare, the fear, whatever that the cognizance, it is converted into materiality and structure, and finally their title arrived from there. So maybe I think you have a very good potential to convert this into maybe a greater, a larger research aspects is what I know. Maybe would you like to see that potential in the future?
Like, if it works, I'm ready to do that. Let me discuss with my colleagues, like if it goes right. At present, if you ask me, I have zero knowledge in design kind of thing. Whatever you say, I don't know any technicalities. I am zero in design kind of thing. Like if somebody has similar interest, like obviously we can work together. Even somebody is like outer authors, we can work actually.
This is where the multidisciplinary.
Yes, like a supportive point of Vice Principal's point.
Anybody else have any questions for the panelists? Okay, so we are moving forward to our next section. Thank you so much, panelists. You can have your seats.
We shall now proceed with the certificate distribution ceremony for the authors and the presenters of both Track 1 and Track 2.
We request our Vice Principal Architect Jayalakshmi ma'am to come up on the stage to give the certificates to the authors and co-authors. First, we have Mr. Chandrasekhar MB from Track 1 with the title Reviving the Frame AI as Creative Co-Pilot in Reimagining Classical Animation for Digital Marketing Design. Can we have a big round of applause for Mr. Chandrasekhar? Thank you so much. Up next, we have Ms. Harshita V with the title Transforming Concept to Visualization of Products Utilizing AI, Study on Lighting Design.
Next, we have Lakpa Dorji Sherpa sir with the title How AI Tools Influence Divergent Thinking During the Early Stage of Design Ideation. Up next, we have Surya R, whose title is AI as a Creative Co-Pilot in Design, Smart Workflow. Up next, we have Kaushik Bulyan, whose title is AI as a Creative Co-Pilot in 3D Design. Up next, we have Sai Priya S with Mr. Nelson with the title AI Assisted Classification of Stylized Cartoon Guide using Motion Features.
Up next, we have from the Track 2, Mr. Vipin Wilson and Mr. Jinsi Vargas with the title Materiality and Making Learning Through Interdisciplinary Collaboration in a Design Studio. Sorry, it's Miss Jinsi Vargas. Up next, we have Miss Lakshmi Baskaran and R. Cinderella with the title Visual Narration in Promotional Poster Design, Attention Flow in Retail Environments.
Up next, we have Suraj BS and Harshita with the title Experiential Form Learning Model and Innovative Hands-on Approach to Product Form Studies and Design Education. Up next, we have Mr. Joseph with the title Innovating Epics, Design Thinking in Devakurni's Feminist Myth Retelling.
We also would like to request our panelist member, Dr. Harshalata P. and Dr. Shilpa Madan Gopal to come up on the stage to have the certificates of being panelist. Can we have a big round of applause for them?
Thank you so much, ma'am. Before concluding today's session, we would like to briefly announce the schedule for day 2.
Tomorrow's session will continue with exciting presentations, discussions, and interactions on the topics of Track 3, Design for Emerging Technologies and a Sustainable Future, and Track 4, Scaling Innovation for Global Challenges. We request everyone to kindly be present on time.
Thank you everyone for your active participation and support throughout the day.
We hope today's sessions were insightful and enriching. Wishing you all a pleasant evening. See you tomorrow for day 2. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
There is a short tea break for all the authors, co-authors, and students outside of the auditorium. You can have over there. Thank you so much.